keep talking, but they still don't know. 'Cause we talk too low, and we keep walking, and we keep walking, and we keep walking, but we walk too slow. So where do we go? About to get heavy, real heavy, like wet dreams. We all have our own set dreams. Nobody knows what the heck we mean whenever we speak. Heavy, real heavy, like wet dreams. We all have our own set dreams. Nobody knows what the heck we mean whenever we speak. So we keep talking, and we keep talking, and we keep talking, but they still don't know. 'Cause we talk too low, and we keep walking, and we keep walking, and we keep walking, but we walk too slow. So where do we go?
Now I'm going to move into the haul part of this video, and if everything went to plan, I just showed clips of my outfits that I wore while I was in Europe, but now I'm just going to move into the things that I bought while I was there, starting with Paris just because I got only 2 things, and then moving on to London and just kind of explaining the pieces. So the first thing I got actually was for €1, and it was this denim jacket. I can't remember the name of the place, but if I do remember or I took a picture of it somewhere, I'll definitely attach it to this video, but it was only $1 or €1. And it is in this nice distressed color, so it has this like blue, light blue color, but then also this kind of like distressed brown-ish color on the back. I don't have a denim jacket in this color, so I think I'm going to keep it, but for some of these pieces I was thinking of putting them on my Depop, but I think I'm going to keep this one just because I don't have a denim jacket in this shade or in this distressed kind of style, and instead I'm going to sell this other one that I have that I did this design on the back. I might sell that one once I'm finished with it, just I still haven't finished it, but I think I'm going to put that one on my Depop and then keep this one just because I want to have something that is from Paris, and it's just because it was so cheap. And the only other thing I got from Paris was from the same place, and it was also just €1, is this kind of corduroy flannel, I guess, button-up long sleeve. Like I said, I'm going to have clips of all these things, so I'm not too worried about showing them right now. I really like the way it looks when I roll up the sleeves, and I think it just has a nice long oversized fit. I feel like I wouldn't have bought this if I found it at the Goodwill in my hometown or in the States somewhere, just because it wouldn't have been $1, and it's just kind of something I feel like I've seen kind of often, but just because it was €1, I definitely wanted to pick it up and bring it back. I think I'm going to keep this as well and not put it on my Depop, but maybe after, if I've had it for a while and I'm getting kind of tired of it, I might end up selling it. By the time this video goes up, I'll probably have a lot more things on my Depop just because right now I only have 2 things, but I have this whole shelf behind the camera of things I'm about to post, and definitely keep the prices very reasonable, but also trying to make some money out of my old clothes just because my closet is filling up pretty quickly and I want to be able to give back, I guess. While I was in Paris though, I didn't convert any of the US dollars that I brought to euros, and instead I just did that while I was in London, so I didn't buy a whole lot while I was in Paris, just those 2 things, but I have a few more things from London I want to show you. The first thing is this green t-shirt from All Saints, and it has this weird distressing on the inside that's kind of like not really able to notice when you're just seeing the front of it, but there is a little bit of like small distressing or discoloration around it. This was only £5, I believe, and I got this from this, I can't remember the place, but it was somewhere near Notting Hill, and I'll try to write down the place if I do find it, but it was very random. It wasn't on my list of places I wanted to check out, so it was very random. The two other things I got from this place were only £1, so this was a little bit more pricey for the things I saw, but definitely still really, really cheap. And just because it was All Saints, I really wanted to get it just because I know that's a quality brand, and I really like the green color, especially since we're transitioning into the fall season. And what drew me to the store is they had like a dollar rack or a pound rack, and so I got this shirt for just £1, and it's just this plain white button up. It's XL, so it does fit kind of big, but as you'll see on the try-in part of this video, it doesn't fit too big, especially doesn't fit like an XL would, I feel like, in the US, but definitely a little bit oversized. I might cut the bottom so it's a little bit frayed and a little bit more cropped. I feel like that would be a cool look, but also since it's kind of oversized and baggy, it might not look that good. But I was super excited that I found it for just £1, and I feel like I'll definitely get a lot of wear out of it just because I don't have that many just plain short sleeve white button ups. I think I have like one other or maybe two others, but I feel like this will be a nice piece to have in my wardrobe. And the other thing I got off that pound rack was these sweatpants, and they're super, super comfortable. When I originally walked into the store and saw that rack, I didn't see these, and I don't even think they had put them up yet, so I just picked up that white t-shirt, but then right before I left, I went in to check the rack one last time, and I found these. I feel like I'm going to be able to wear these to school just because I usually don't wear sweatpants to school just because I try to not dress up, but I try to look a little bit more presentable. Not saying that sweatpants aren't presentable, but I feel like these are a little bit more in my style that I'd feel comfortable wearing outside the house, so I'll probably get some wear out of it during the school year. So the other pieces are just going to be from random places, so those were the only three that I got in the same place. But while I was walking down the street, I found this t-shirt, and it was like £3 from those sellers that sell super cheap souvenirs. And I kind of want to crop this and just cut it so it's a little bit more cropped. I was thinking about putting it on my depop, but I really, really like it, just how plain and basic it is, and I want to have something that screams London, England, since I didn't really buy any souvenirs that really said anything like that other than a keychain. So I feel like I probably will keep this and then just cut it so that it is more cropped and fits a little bit better. And this next thing is a little bit unexpected. Usually I wouldn't buy something like this, but I saw a TJ Maxx, but they call it something else. It's like TK Maxx, or it's something different than it is in the United States. But it was this kind of like windbreaker. I just really like the color palette of it. It kind of reminds me of the guy from Monsters, Inc. But I usually wouldn't wear something like this, but I just really like the color palette it had. I don't like the word hero on it. I think it's kind of tacky, but I really like the colors, and I don't have a whole lot of color in my wardrobe, so I feel like this would be a great piece to add. And it's also was super soft to put on. It's just this really like light and airy material, so I feel like it'll be good for layering, probably more for the springtime and not for the fall time, but I wanted to pick it up just because it was like maybe like £10, so it wasn't too expensive, and I had a lot of money left over, and it was towards the end of the trip, so I wanted to start spending more, so I picked that up. And the last thing I picked up were a pair of jeans from Urban Outfitters. I think they were £12 from the brand Edwin. I have it on the back there, but they are in a lot bigger size, like more relaxed fit than I would normally wear, because I usually try to find more skinny jeans, but they're only £12, and everything else there was like £30 to £60 in the sale rack. So I definitely wanted to pick these up because I feel like they'd look really good with boots. I wore these in my last video with a pair of Doc Martens. I just feel like the oversized fit of the pants would look really good with the oversized style of Doc Martens, just because sometimes I feel like skinny jeans and big boots don't really look good together. It kind of just depends, but I feel like these will look really good with boots and probably just with some regular tennis shoes. And those were all the things I actually bought while I was in Europe. I have two other pieces I kind of want to talk about just because, but I went inside a lot of vintage shops, and the vintage shops that they have are more like things you would find at Goodwill, but then overpriced times 10. And so I was able to find these pieces, which I was really thankful for, just the really cheap ones, but I didn't find a whole lot of stores that offered really cheap things that kind of I was in the price range for or just wanted to see, just because it's really hard for me to justify spending a lot of money on things just because I know I can find it or find something better at Goodwill. But regardless, I was still really happy with what I got, and now I'm just going to talk about two things that I got when I got home, just because I feel like this was a little bit short. So when I got back and I went to Goodwill, I picked up these 30/30 Levi jeans, and they're in this weird light wash, but also they look almost like, not acid wash, but they kind of have this weird like, I don't really know what you would call it, like stonewash maybe, but they're kind of in this different color and they do fit really well. I might put this on my depop just because I feel like it's kind of rare to come across 30-30 Levi's, but I'm probably going to keep them just for myself just because they're one of the only pants that I've tried on that I like when I don't cuff them, because usually I always cuff the bottom of my jeans, but I still really like the way they look uncuffed. I did wash them and they did shrink a little bit, so they look a little bit different when I first tried them on, which is disappointing, but I still really like them, and I can't wait to see how I'll style them. And lastly, I got some Doc Marten boots that I did actually go into some real Doc Marten stores while I was in London. But I found that they were mainly about 135 to 140, and when I converted my money, I got about 65 pounds per 100 US dollars, so they were just a lot more expensive than they would have been in the United States, so I just waited until I got back to buy them, and they're actually these Chelsea Doc Marten boots. The ones I wanted were originally in this black color or this kind of like different brown color, but I went inside the Nordstrom rack and I found these for only $80 where they would have been about 140, so I was super excited I found them, and I couldn't pass them up just because I've been wanting them for a while but haven't really had the courage to spend that much money just because I usually try to find cheaper shoes, as with all my clothes. But these are going to be a great addition to the fall wardrobe. Like I said, I've been talking about, I'm just really excited for the fall weather and fall fashion. But those are pretty much all my pieces. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If everything went to plan, it would be a lookbook / haul video, but hopefully it all works out and I get a good video together for you guys. But if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also click the bell if you want to be reminded every single time I post, and I'll see you guys next week with another video. Bye!
Got my fire on my aux cord. What's your preference? Do you like rap or rock more? Whatever that you like, I got it all for you. So what it do? I got a lot more time. So we